Truck Hustle podcast, where we highlight real stories and real strategies from people moving freight every day. I'm your host, Telly Arnold, the creator of Straight Connect and the part owner of TLA Group LLC. And I would introduce my co host, who is my business partner, Sharif.
How's everybody? I'm Sharif Brooks. I've been driving 18 wheelers for 25 years. Been box truck hustling for three. Right now, reporting live from Tallahassee, Florida, with a delivery tomorrow. Great to be here.
Teleho.
Next, we'll have Neek with Neek Dispatching.
Hi everyone, my name is Shanique. I am with Neat Dispatching. Also, I am a licensed financial professional.
And we also have Derek with Fast Lane Trucking.
What's up? What's up? It's Derek, owner operator, Fast Lane Trucking, also owner of DreamWorks South, DreamWorks TV, whole kit and caboodle.
And we have a special guest today, Willie Devon, who calls himself the Box Truck Hall of Famer. I will let him
Hey,
introduce
hey,
himself.
how y'all doing? I'm Willie, better known as the Box Truck Hall of Famer, straight out of Pensacola, Florida, making moves out here to the money, dot to dot. How y'all doing?
All
All
right, we're
right, all
doing good,
right.
Willie. So, you want to tell us a little bit of how long you've been in box trucking or just in this industry in general?
Yeah, I'll break it down for you. I've been doing box trucking in its totality probably around 8 to 10 years. I started out down in the Panhandle, Florida, doing what they call last mile hauling locally for a company. That was some hard work, doing only residential stuff every day, the 9 to 5 hustle and bustle, and I'm learning the things indirectly that I didn't know I was learning, and just formulating a strategy to get away and break away from that and do my own thing. Long story short, moved to North Carolina, me and my family, and decided to get our own thing going. So started out with one rental truck, and I ain't stopped yet. So
Okay. So, you have
I
a
run
rental
over the
truck?
road now. Yeah, I
Okay.
run rentals. I had, I've been on every side of the coin of box trucking, from running a couple truck out of North Carolina to scaling up to two rental trucks and one own truck. But I'm you have your ups and downs and your mishaps. So now I'm back running just one truck in a
Hmm.
sprinter van.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's where I'm at with it.
So when you did local, was you doing
Yep.
like appliance delivery or you were just running local
Uh, I was
work?
I was doing everything when we was doing the local thing, from appliances. We was doing mattress haul, uh, dock to dock on electronics. We was doing hospital runs. We was doing a little bit of everything. A lot of lift gate assists, a lot of white glove delivery, stuff like that. And that stuff is kind of backbreaking. And I tell everybody, I'm getting a little too old to be doing that type of work. I rather hit the road and go out here and do some one man handling stuff I can do on my own in my own space, and
Preach,
make my own money.
preach.
So that's what I've been doing for the last, uh I want to say 3-4 years on my own.
Okay. I think
So
that's
that's
where
where
we
I'm at
were.
with that.
Yeah, we did appliance delivery for a year. And yeah, the money wasn't what we thought.
Okay.
And of course, Sharif was doing all the back-breaking work. And it was stressful for me
Yeah,
because of the claims.
and
Because of the
and the
claims.
labor. Well, we got into some claims. Telly forgot to bring the clamp for the hose, and you know how that go. And once she didn't tell me, it didn't get on there, so claimed.
Yeah, of course, the one who was not in the truck forgot to bring the
Yeah, that
clamp.
hey stuff like that
Exactly,
happen. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Now, it's just that local work is just too much work and nowhere near. uh above average pay. You would think you'll get paid. They promised us what 700 a day, and you wasn't getting that, and we was dropping because we had a contract with Lowe's, and training somebody to have professionalism to go inside these homes and stuff like that. It was. I knew what you meant earlier when you said the ups and downs. That's most definitely was ups and downs.
Right, right. Ups and downs, some stairs and ups. That too, it's some hard work. It's some
Yeah,
breaking work, and it's
smiles and
direct to
crowds too.
consumer. So you kind of got to, yeah, you got to deal with a lot of people directly, and that's hard when you're an
Hmm.
entrepreneur and those people act like you work for them, and we independent. You see what I'm saying? So that was a hard part
Gotcha.
for me to deal with. Like, they try to push you around just because you're making a delivery, and a lot of people don't respect you as a person. Coming into their home when they just trying to just. It's just I got tired of that, and I say I'm gonna hit the road. I'd rather go over the road and make what I can make by the mile. So jumped in me a rental truck, and I've been doing it ever since. A lot of people, they get scared of those rental trucks because the overhead is so high, but I know how to make it work. You just got to have a game plan and get out here and hustle. I haven't been stopped yet.
Yeah.
I got a
So I
question.
see you standing. Go ahead, Derek.
Oh, hey, so we neighbors because I live in Georgia. Why is the rates in Florida so bad coming out of Florida, man?
They not really bad, brother. What part of Georgia you in?
I live in Atlanta. I live in North Atlanta now.
Oh, you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a miss. I'm gonna be honest. It used to be bad. I'm gonna say that I went through the same thing. I'm originally from Pensacola. I just moved to Orlando maybe like 7 8 months ago.
Okay. Or see, or
It's
that
nothing
that
in
Uh,
middle
Pensacola.
central Florida ain't bad. You get some good rates coming out of
I
Central
think I
Florida.
have an
Orlando,
idea.
Oh, go ahead.
So I think because the further down you go, there's no other way but to go up.
Right, all right.
So they take advantage.
right?
It's
that's why
just
But
rates are
I
bad in
haven't. I
Houston.
don't mean to cut you off, but I haven't been having no problem coming out of Orlando area. Um, I see it like this. I'm at home, right? When I go home, I know that I'm going home. So I'm never under pressure of coming right out because I can just go home. I got no overhead when I go home. So I can sit and watch the board until I'm ready to make my move.
right.
So I just make sure when it's time to come home, I come home with a good load, maybe 250, and try to push for something above $3 a mile coming home. So I've been coming out of there so frequent, I've made my relationships like in any region that you in where you work, you're gonna kind of blow the market up because you're there more than no one was before. You see what I'm saying? So if
Yes,
I'm
sir.
in that
Hmm.
spot
Gotcha.
once a week or twice a week and I'm coming out of there, now I'm creating a market for it coming out. So now that same broker, he can hit me up and say, "Hey, Willie, are you in Orlando now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm home right now. Hey, man, I got that same load that you did for me last week. You want to try it again?" So now I'm coming out. So now it's building up. So now I can depend on doing that same thing possibly, or getting that load and putting it with some parcels. A lot of time I just parcel out of there. You know what I mean? I take 1 or 2 pallets or very small light loads. If I gotta pick them up in Lakeland, no further than Tampa, like she said, you don't want to go way down to Miami because you're gonna pretty much be stuck down there, and stuck in all that drastic heat. But once you in like Orlando, you in the money lane. So I haven't
Yeah,
had trouble in a while
You're
coming
right in
out
the
of there.
middle.
yeah. That's why usually
Yeah,
I try not to go no further than like I said Orlando or Jacksonville because it's easy to get out of. But like I said, like I'm like you, I'll partial
yeah,
out of there. Like it ain't hard to
yeah.
find a couple of parcels coming out of Florida.
It ain't hard to find a parcel out of Orlando at all, man. Once you
Man,
lock
you need
in
the
a couple of
Amazon out of
brokers
there.
and hit them up,
Hit that Amazon and get up out of there.
Amazon.
That's how we would get in here. We would get out of there with Amazon because you couldn't. when we would hit the low board, it wasn't nothing coming out of there. In that we was all in Orlando in that area. So what we would do, we was get a run coming out Orlando, going to I forget that little port right above Jacksonville, right there, in Georgia,
Hold on a
right
second.
there.
Hold
Then
on.
get another run to go to Atlanta. So I do two, and that'd be like 700, 750, just to make it back to Atlanta. It was better than dead hitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now that Atlanta market, it's kind of saturated to me. You know, it has loads, but it's got way far more trucks than the loads. You know, but they pay, but it's way quicker than anywhere that you go. You know what I mean? It's more like going
That's
to
that sweet spot.
New York or New Jersey, something like that. But you can come out of there either way. You know, I really haven't had no problem with coming out of nowhere. You know, once you learn and build your MC up, it's pretty much good as gold. You know, it's just like anything else you do. You just got to show credibility and show you can perform and just keep moving. You know, I'm trying to average. Like last week, I did 7250 with 5 loads for the week. That's what I grossed. This week I'm already over 40. What's today? Today Tuesday we had 40, like over 44,000 something like that. So by Friday, who knows? You know. Well, I got a death in
Oh, that's
Atlanta,
your
so I'm
truck
up
and
there
the Sprinter
probably
van.
tomorrow. No, that's just the box truck. I'm picking up the Sprinter van. Uh, hopefully
Gotcha.
tomorrow. I'm just I'm just adding that. So I'm actually over the road running team with with one of my partners that I grew up with, training him and gonna let him take over
Gotcha.
the box truck, and I'm gonna jump in the Sprinter van, and we gonna do a swap. I'm gonna let him run 2 to 3 weeks in the box truck while I run 2 to 3 weeks in the Sprinter van, and then we just swap over. We take a break, you know what I mean, and then we try to make the transition pretty smooth. I'm gonna try that out, but because it got to scale up from more than one truck, you know,
Gotcha. So you've been doing
and
team
people
runs,
make
those
money in
team
Sprinter
loads.
vans. Yeah, just the past couple days just to train him, you know.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah,
So you're gonna do box truck and Sprinter van. Are you renting the Sprinter van
yeah.
as well too?
Nah, that one I'm buying.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And you using the
It's
low
less
board for the Sprinter
overhead.
van?
Yeah, I'm gonna try the load board with the Sprinter van.
Okay.
And see what they do. You know, I don't know the market of it yet, but I'm saying it's freight. Anything freight, I can figure it out. You know, just give me a couple days, give me 3 to 5 days, and I have it doing what it do. Hopefully, you know, because I ain't gonna
Gotcha.
stop. You know, I stop the load
Gotcha.
boards like everybody else. So
So I'm assuming
Hmm.
if they missing, I'm getting them.
you're dispatching yourself as well too, correct?
That's the only way I have it. That's the only way I have it. Ain't nobody gonna negotiate the rate, so I'm gonna negotiate better than me. So I gotta represent my own.
I got you. I got you.
So yeah.
So were you doing your box truck during COVID? Was you doing it during COVID?
That's when I that's when I started. Like I want to say just before COVID hit. I don't know how everybody was starting at that time, but that's when I started, and I started without a clue of what to do. Like I say, I was doing the all of the last mile stuff down in Pensacola. We just picked up and moved to to North Carolina without a clue of what we was gonna do. Me and my wife, because my sons was up there, and we moved up there
Hmm.
to try to do something else. But when you know how kids not gonna do what you think that we all gonna do as a collective. So me and the wife, we was like,
Mm.
well, let's do what you know to do. So then I just got an MC. I had to reach back out to some buddies down there because I didn't even know what an MC authority was. I just knew how to drive a truck, you know what I mean, and do freight, but I didn't know the
Hmm.
proper documentation that you need for it, the proper insurance that you need, none of that stuff. So I'm gonna tell you, I called one of my partners and he guided me through how to set up an MC, how to get my well, I knew how to get my LLC, but he showed me how to get the trucking part of it. So when I got that, I'm like, I don't know where to find the work at. So he went to telling me about Amazon Relay. Somebody said something about that. So we signed up for Amazon back then. I don't know how it is now, but Amazon was letting you on board probably the first week or two when you get your MC going. You can
Mm-hmm.
you can come on.
Mm-hmm.
So in that region in the region we was in, it was loads that was picking up right where maybe 40-50 mile deadhead, and it'll run me home every night.
Mm.
So that system was working and keeping busy. But I think some kind of way they marginalize you after a while to drop your score so you don't have the good load. So I say we did that maybe 2 to 3 months, and then some kind of way everything started falling apart. So I'm like, this ain't gonna work. So I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So we hired a dispatcher. A foreigner. I hate to say it like that, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I know you can't give me no money. If I can't understand you, I can't you speak on my better behalf on give me some money. So I tried it one time,
Mm-hmm.
right? I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna try it. Let me try it. You know what I mean? Let me get on the phone. I know how to talk. You know what I mean? And got on the phone, got the load board. You know what I mean? The DAT had the basic subscription, and I booked the load one time, and then I told her that's it. We don't. He did me. We don't need him never no more. So we fired them,
Yeah.
stopped answering their calls, and man, I've been going crazy out there ever since. I'm teaching
Gotcha.
folks, how
It's
to
an
do what
it's an
I started up
adrenaline
doing.
rush every time you're on that phone. Every time you're
Yeah,
on that phone, it's a little adrenaline
yeah.
rush. That little negotiating period. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I love it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what are some negotiation tips you might have? Because we do have a dispatcher on here, U.S. based dispatcher, might I
Oh,
add.
well, I tell everybody just go into study what you're doing, study the craft of negotiation, meaning knowing what the market offers. You know what I mean? You got to know the rates, what's fair, what's not fair, because a lot of time you they think we just the only ones coming in new, but it's a lot of new brokerages out there that don't know what's going on. They only know what they pushing the paperwork. We out here dealing with picking up the freight. They don't even know if if they people don't have a dock, if they don't know the size of the freight dimensions. So I tell people to go into it and find the problem, so and be the problem solver when you coming into the load. So when I look for the at the load boards, I'm looking in the comments of the description for the problem in the load. That's where I start my negotiation. So if I see it say they want the load expedited and it's out of hours of service of me driving, that's one thing. I want everybody to be safe, you know what I mean? So we got to run this freight right. So now you want me to run illegal and get it there? I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna tell them that. So maybe they'll take the person, because you got people who inexperienced, they just taking the loads no matter what, because they may be a new carrier and they just want to they first load, you know what I mean? Or may say white glove, something that may say remove pallet dispose, offload, driver assist, anything that I find a problem in, that's more money for me. So I go into my negotiation just like that. I can turn a $700-800 load into a $1,300-1400 load just by finding a problem and solving it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't know. Just by example, I was had I it was a Texas load. I was coming from Texas, so I think it was Birmingham the other day, and forgot what I told him, but the load was like 1600, somewhere like that. And then the simplest thing that I told him just boosted up another $150. Just you got to be smart and kind of know the market better than they know it, because a lot of times they don't even know what's going on. They don't know the dimensions of the freight. They don't know a lot of time they don't know the stuff they need to know. You know,
Gotcha.
so
Gotcha. So, what are some What's some mistakes that you made that you learned from?
Um, Trying to scale up quick, trying to run multiple trucks without mastering that one truck first and getting that one truck in the green.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake because you bringing on more liability and putting more on your plate than you can eat than one person can handle. You know what I mean? So you
Mhm.
become so overwhelmed with trying to scale up, and that's where you lose at. And that's what I tell a lot of people now. Stop trying to chase a level of success that you're not able to handle right now. You know what I mean? If you haven't mastered negotiation, keeping a truck loaded for yourself, there's no way you can get another truck and hire someone and have their livelihood in your hand when you can't even support yourself in one truck yet. So that's a big mistake that not only I try, but a lot of people who I talk to on a daily in box truck, and that's where they go wrong. Number two is I don't know. That's
That's
the
a big one.
biggest mishap. That's
That's
a
a
big
big
one.
one.
Just trying to basically scale up and do more faster in time than what it is than what it is. It took me a while to get back to where I was. This time, what I did, and I show a lot of people is while I was working for this company, um, out of North Carolina, I was running their truck for them for a few years. I kept asking them to hire someone and let me do all the dispatching, even if they needed me to put some capital up so we can get a second truck and put them
Mhm.
in so it won't run me to death.
Yeah.
And I couldn't never get them to see see the vision of that. So while I was working with them, I had got created my another MC because I skipped over a lot of part, but I had some mishaps on with the family, and that kind of fell apart at a time. So that took me out. So that's what I
Mm.
while I ended up back in a rental. But that's even straightened out now. But while I was working with those guys, I indirectly aged my MC. So instead of me coming back out when I came back out with a new MC, I didn't start at phase one or day one. And a lot of people don't understand what I did. What I did was insure, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell the secret. I just insured another vehicle for 9 months straight while I wasn't even in it. So I took money and capital that I was making running that truck, and I was paying a insurance on a vehicle that I wasn't even in for 9 months straight. So when I
Mm.
finally stepped away from that company, I immediately hopped in the rental truck and took off. I got a load the first day I went and picked the rental up. I wasn't a new guy to no one. You know what I mean? When they
Gotcha.
ran my MC, it's like
Gotcha.
you got 9 months, good to go. With the experience, I wasn't coming in talking like a rookie. I knew the game, and I was rolling. And I haven't stopped in. I don't know if any of you. Well, I know you do, Telly. You know about my following a little bit, but
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
I don't play around.
They didn't add.
You know.
They didn't add so many loopholes in each broker has added so many loopholes now when you get lows so that now it's like the age plus two inspections. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't had
Two
two
inspections.
inspections, then bam, you can't get a load. And then they have one where you had to run like TQL every now and then. And at the bottom it'll say you have to have ran 3 loads with us or 4 loads with us.
Mhm.
So
They
they're
they
starting
tried
to
that.
want to throw little rules in there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried that with me when I first started back out with them, and it ain't last long.
Yeah,
After I ran one, I ran two, three, four, and now it's unstoppable. I'm running them often, and T Carell is one of the worst brokers out there. But they've been paying lately. You just get in the
I
right
know.
market, and you catch good loads with T Carell. I can't really even complain about them no more. So they've been
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
You
Mm-mm.
know,
You can't
it
complain. It's all about your relationship with that particular, I guess, representative of them. If you got a bad relationship with one, your name will spread. But if you start off, you got a good relationship with one, and then your name will spread throughout there in a good way. So, it's a lot of pros and cons with
Yeah,
them, but they
and just
keeping some people
and just
afloat.
keep your truck position in the right market. You know, like Midwest. If you
Yeah,
keep your truck in the Midwest, you can't lose.
me.
Out there, you have picks and chooses. Anywhere else, you kind of got to take what you got to take. But if you keep that truck positioned in the right place, I'm telling you, you'll do real good. You know, you'll do
So how
real
do you
good.
feel
Yeah.
about people always
This
saying you
load
need
I
to get
brought.
dedicated, you need to get dedicated freight or, direct shipper? What do you feel about
Dedicated
that?
lanes.
Yeah, yeah,
I ask them.
dedicated.
I ask them where they at. Show me your dedicated lane. When that's what I always tell them. Show me. It sounds good until it come down to it. That's what I tell
Exactly.
them. You know what I mean? A lot of people talking, but they not even in a truck. So I don't believe the hype. You know, I'm 47 years old, so you can't just pull wool over my eyes and make me, tell me I'm blind. So you had to show me. Other than
Hmm.
that,
I
because
think the
I know everybody is not running dedicated. The same
Exactly.
people, it's so many people out here claiming to have these dedicated lanes, and of course, but they may have dedicated lanes, but who guarantees that they good paying? That still don't add
Yeah.
up to nothing. If you making $400-500, I know a guy that's making $400-500 on a dedicated lane, but that's not gonna cover his overhead and make him make no money. He just can say he got a dedicated lane. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I've
I've
been
been
off
trying to
with
figure that out.
Hmm.
multiple dedicated lanes, but
I've
I
been
turned them
trying to
down
I
because
figure
they
think
that
don't make
about
out.
them
sense.
is they just if you got 3 trucks and you can dedicate one to a dedicated lane, because if you just got one truck and you got a dedicated lane, it's like you're working a job. I mean, because you can't do nothing but work for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They gon'
Right, right, right.
if the lane just run Monday through Thursday, okay. So you're basically Monday through Thursday. You
Now,
can't make no
now,
money doing nothing
if
else.
it makes sense,
Yeah, of course. If they
if it
paying
makes
right,
sense, if it pay, yeah,
but me
I would
personally,
do it. You could dedicate me every day.
yeah. But if I would want more than one truck, so then I could just dedicate that one truck to that dedicated lane, and I could be over
Right.
here over the road or doing whatever else with my other truck.
I agree.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I've been hearing that dedicated talk, man, since I've been doing it, but I've been doing it consistently and I've been doing it heavy and I haven't bumped into the right one. I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm not saying everybody is blowing hot smoke of fluffing, but I just haven't ran into the right one. I can just say that, you know what I mean? Anything that's worth me saying
Well,
it's a
Willie,
dedicated
answer.
line. So
Yeah, we'll answer this though, but it's a lot of dedicated lanes, but they sporadic. They like contracts. They like okay,
Yeah.
because we have a couple of relationships with a couple of guys, and like I had a relationship with a guy with a apartment complex. They were delivering refrigerators from Dallas to Louisville, but it was on there for what a good month. We did like 3 trips, and once they finished, then that dedicated lane then dried up, and then you out here freestyling again. So you can get a lane, but
right.
how long that lane gonna last? It's
How
always like a
long?
project
Yeah,
going
if it's not
on or a
consistent,
convention or something.
is that exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think what I've
I just
seen
stick to
is,
what I know.
yeah, I think what I see sometimes, because I mean, I'm very active on LinkedIn, and that's where like the brokers are, and I'm very active on there. And um, I would see people say what we're talking about, and I actually was like, "How easy is it to get somebody got one truck? Please explain that to me, please." And when I said that, one broker was like, "I quit saying it after you made that comment." I was like, "Yeah, because y'all keep pushing us to look for dedicated." I'm like, "Where is dedicated freight? Where is this contract?" And I'm like, "It just
Because it
doesn't
really would
happen that easy."
exactly it's really not realistic with one truck because if you're trying to dedicate, say you picking up and I'm just gonna make an example in Louisville, Kentucky, they gonna dedicate you two loads per week to start out with because you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
In that lane to make money, it's either that lane has to stay regional and not go out far because if it's dedicated and you got to come back, how can you come back if they send you out so far to make it make sense? Because if you got some that's picking up in Louisville and they got to run to Dallas and they say, well, we need you back by Wednesday. What I'm gonna do to get back to Louisville without deadheading or spending
Gotcha.
overhead on fuel to make sense anyway. So it wouldn't make sense in one truck, you know what I mean? With just 1 or 2 days. If you're gonna dedicate me, I need something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you know what I mean? Every day.
Yeah.
And it can't go out far. I got to be able to come back without spending a lot of fuel and overhead. That's the only way that dedicated stuff work. Or like brother said, with multiple trucks, you know what I mean? That only makes sense, but one won't get it, you know. I
No.
don't think I haven't seen it work with one truck.
I don't think I
No.
just don't think it makes sense. Like I say, unless they just
Yeah, it don't
pan
make
out the
sense, man.
wazoo and it's a round trip, back and forth a couple of days a week, and they
That
paying.
exactly. It got that's the only way. You just said I was trying to think of the word. The round trip is the only way it works. Where you go, you pick up, you take it to the destination, they load you, you drop that, then they load you up right there, then you take it back and forth, back and forth. That's the only thing that makes sense, but I don't think they got nothing like that, you know.
Yeah,
At
I
least
had
I
one.
haven't seen it.
I had one for a while. It wasn't a quote unquote dedicated lane. The dude just he basically did us a solid because we did good work for him. But we basically it was going from toy store to toy store, from Georgia to Philadelphia, and we would get it. It would be Monday through Wednesday, so we would get a load from Georgia, take it to Philadelphia, and then we'll bring a load back. And it was just like toys and puzzles and games and stuff. But
Hmm.
like I said, when I started looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. If I could just dedicate that truck to that, but like I'm missing so much other money because I can't do nothing else because I got a round trip back and forth. Like they ain't even want me to do no parceling or nothing like with it. So it's like, they pretty much they control the
Yeah, they
truck.
have so many restrictions on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That's why I feel like being over the road is scary trying to get into something that'll have you home every day because sometimes you can take a step back if you try something new that may get your driver home every day, but it's not profitable. And now you're wasting time. We've done that. We've
Mm-hmm.
now I'm home every day, but the money ain't coming in like the road does. Now you're working harder and you barely scraping by. And then now that your mental is getting screwed over because now you're home every day, but it ain't hitting, it ain't busting. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right,
you gotta. I
right.
rather just stay over the road, keep that road mentality, because it's a mental state you got to be in to be able to get on the road and stay on the road. You know what I'm trying to say? How long do you stay
Do you
when you hit the road before
who
you
you
do
tell?
home time?
How long
I've
you
been.
stay out,
I'm
Willie?
gonna be
Okay.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
I've been. I've been riding myself home every weekend. This this the only weekend. What I keep forgetting what today is. I'm kind of throwed off.
Tuesday.
I got that
Tuesday.
funeral today, so I've been trying Tuesday. I've been trying to train my buddy and get him. We actually got a load, so I'm going home again. Uh, get him to drop me off at home, and then I'm gonna get with my wife and my daughter, and we gonna go to Pensacola. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna just keep dispatching him, and let him keep going throughout the weekend. But
Mm.
I've been fortunate enough to route myself home every weekend for at least 6 weeks straight now.
Now, before
Every
that, how long was
every
you staying
Friday with
out?
3 weeks
Three
minimum.
weeks. Gotcha. Yeah.
3 weeks
That's what
minimum. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's a blessing to go
Yeah,
home
it
every
just
weekend.
some just been telling me to go home every week. I just been taking me a load. Every load I take on that Friday, I just get it to go something going in the Florida somewhere. No matter where you at, if you're in
It's
Dallas,
always
like
something
I've been
going in
waiting on that
there.
one. I've been
It
catching.
it's good
It's
money going
always something
in.
going in there.
It,
Yeah.
yeah, it's always something going in. So you fortunate and
And and
very
and, and
fortunate
that's
too.
and, and
Atlanta is
and
a
that's what
sweet
I was
spot.
talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, it
And I
don't it
went
don't be
down to
hard to get back in.
back to Atlanta.
Yeah, nah, it don't be hard. Usually, with my drive, because my drive actually lives in Alabama. He lives right there on the edge of Alabama and Georgia, near Columbus, Georgia. But he got a little girlfriend up here, so he like to come to Atlanta. But I get him home usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, got to keep the little young man happy, man. So, but
Yo, you hey, you gotta keep some motivation.
I keep him motivated, dog. Gotta let him. He got
Yeah,
he got
gotta
to
keep
Yeah.
them
feel
motivated.
he got to feel that thigh once a week. So he got to feel that thigh. But usually by Wednesday, I've been found something that I can get, and it's coming back to Georgia or
Get them
somewhere near
going,
Georgia.
going back
Yeah,
to Georgia. Yeah.
and he don't have to deliver it till Monday morning. So he'll come back Friday, part the
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
truck.
he
Yeah,
loving
and
that.
that's basically what I've been doing. That's
Yeah,
basically what I've been doing. And then I look on the board. I never stop looking on the board, so I start looking on the board and start picking up parcels from Friday all the
yep,
way to Sunday. Now, if I
yep.
get me a dedicated good one, I just lock that one in, and that's my load out of there. So I leave like Sunday early morning, and I'm back on the road, and that's how I start my week off.
Or sometimes
Well,
I'll.
Houston ain't that
And,
easy.
and
You don't think so?
Hell
No,
I
see,
no.
like
y'all didn't know
Houston.
sweet.
I like
Now
Houston.
Houston on.
Dallas.
See, but Houston, well, for what
But
freight or recreation?
see, what I do is even if it ain't a route a load that's going to Georgia, if I can get him home, I can get him home, and it's like going to South Carolina on Monday. South Carolina right above Georgia, so I'll get him back to Georgia, and he'll
Yeah.
park the truck, and then he'll leave out Sunday morning, so I can do his 36 hour do his reset. He'll leave back out Sunday morning or Sunday night, and he'll be heading to South Carolina. And that's usually like a little good 4 or 5 hour drive from out of Atlanta. So it still end up working out. It don't always
Mm-hmm.
be a load that's coming back to Georgia, but if I can get it around South Carolina or maybe Florida, I I'll
I
be
think
good.
for us, what we generally do is we try to get to, Dallas is easier for us.
Hmm.
Even coming
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
out,
it is.
that Houston is hit or miss, and generally we're trying to get to Dallas to get out. Sometimes we can find a load coming straight to Houston that be paying, but
How
Dallas
how,
is better than Houston.
how far is Oklahoma from
We have
Houston?
that same
How far is Oklahoma, Sharif?
what 6 around Dallas is 4, so I guess about 5 hours. Depends on what
Uh,
part of Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
that's
yeah.
you
real
know.
far.
But we had that
Atlanta.
same problem as Neek say. We close by this water. Houston close by the water, so
Yeah, that's
you
true. That's
know,
true.
every now and then it'll get dry. It'll get dry with nothing coming out. So we'll get do Amazon to take me as close to Dallas as possible without dead hitting those
Mm-hmm.
4 hours. And then I just creep the rest of the way up there. I just use Amazon to keep from dead hitting. Cause just like you said, Willie, it is always something going there, but that dead head eat your profit up. You know what I'm saying? You done made 500, but you got to spend 350 with gas coming back home. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you ate it up.
Exactly. That's how I was telling one guy. I let a guy run under my MC, and he ain't know what he was doing. He was just running all kinds of crazy. If he see a low anything over $2,500, he don't care what it entails. He getting it. And at the end of the
Mm.
day, he wasn't making a dime. I said, I try to tell him, I said, man, you got to
Mm.
know your numbers. Know how much fuel you spend, know what you're getting per mile, and know what the intel, you know what I mean? Know what market is gonna take you to come out. And he gets stuck every time and they go through the same
Thank you.
thing. I say, man, that's insanity, man. You keep doing the
Ain't
same thing and you getting the same result.
You
But
was
he just
letting him
wouldn't
book his
listen.
own
taking them good
loads
loads
under your
going in
authority?
Mississippi.
Was you letting him get his own load,
Yeah.
running his?
He messed he
It's like a
yeah, I
dog.
let him book his own loads until he got me hit with a freight guard
Ah,
and almost took my company off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I was wondering,
Stop. Ooh.
was were you okay with letting people lease onto your authority? Now, I would never let nobody book their own loads if they lease under my authority.
nah, that was that was lesson learned. Never again. $13,000 mistake.
Oh, let's talk about it, Willie.
Cost,
Now, what happened?
cost me
Mm.
13. Let him lease on.
Hmm.
Bumped into him and a guy out there. We was both delivering a load in Michigan over on a Monday. I think we got there at the truck stop like a Friday. I seen him. So we started chopping it up about trucking, you know what I mean? I seen him and I'm just hollering, hey man, I got a rental too, such and such. So he's showing me contracts. At least I think they contracts. I don't know if he was just a scammer then, but he like, man, I do the what kind of contracts he said he had? The awnings. I don't know if y'all ever did those awnings, the big things that they put the commercial awnings on buildings and stuff like that. But he telling
Mhm.
me he running those from Arizona, everywhere. You know, he's showing me text messages. He's showing me numbers. It's looking good. So I'm like, man, I'm want to see can I get with him and maybe get some of that work time to time. So we exchange the numbers and stuff then. So fast forward, maybe like 2 months down the line, he hit me up out the blue. He was like, "Hey, Will, man, I ran into some mishaps with my MC, this and that. They shut me down. You think I can run?" At that time, I want to scale up. I was really trying to hire somebody to put him in another truck, but he got two trucks at the time. So I'm like thinking on it. I really don't want to do it because I never did it before. Didn't know how we was gonna work it out, but I came up with a percent, and I said, "Man, come on." First, first 2 days, I think he booked just like I said, wild and crazy, but it was like $5,200. And I said, "Oh, he moving." You know what I mean? I wasn't calculating what he was doing right then because I'm on the road full time, so I ain't had time to check into it. I didn't even look at the rate cards to see how far he was going and nothing like that. But as time goes on, and I'm started checking the
Mm.
rate cards and seeing what he's doing, and I'm saying like, "Dog, why you take this 2,000 miles for $2,800? You know what I mean? You ain't you ain't making nothing. You know what I mean?"
Oh.
And I start, yeah, why you take 1,500 miles for $2,000? You know what I mean? You ain't trying
Yeah.
to get over $2 a mile on nothing. You know what I mean? You're not trying to average the market for nothing. So he just doing that and he's satisfied all the time. So I said, everyone doesn't have to make the same thing to be in profit. So I said maybe he know something, so I just laid off. But now I'm gonna tell it all because I already made posting content about it, and put it all out there. And now he's being late to every drop. Brokers calling me like, "Hey man,
Mm.
where's the driver at?" He won't answer the phone for me. He won't answer the phone for them. So he's slacking out. I'm ready to take him out my program at this point. You know what I mean? But he's steady booking and steady booking. He loves shooting out to California. That's his favorite spot to go out there. Get stuck out there every time. Need gas money.
Mm.
Can't even make it to the drops, but you on my MC now, and it has to be dropped. So now I gotta help you with gas. And it when he drop it, it's
Oh
coming directly to
yeah.
my factory. And so I was like, I gotta do that because I got to satisfy the business. So and I said, man, you know what? Before something happened, this is what I told him. I said, before something happened bad, you got to get on my insurance or you done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I got to be safe. So before I made it to put him on my insurance, the day he was supposed to do it, he went to where he had that load? No, Las Vegas on the load. I told him before he went out, they picked it up. He picked it up. He always run a team, him and he said his brother. I should have known something because every time they book, they always use Elliot's names. So that was the thing. I said, man, why y'all using these uh wrong names and all this stuff? It was a lot of stuff off with him. But I just was having a good feeling. My wife she ain't like it from the start. And I should have just went with what she was saying. But I'm ambitious trying to earn an extra income and you know what I
Yeah.
mean, just being
Mhm.
greedy, right?
Mm.
So that's all it was. And he that day that he told me, he said, man, because I kept telling him, I said, man, it's getting to the point you asking me to front you money every load. Now every load you asking me to front you money to make it to the drop off. And I said, you can't do that no more. I said, man, I'm out here on the road. I need my own money to do this. I said, if you run them how I run them, I don't need nobody money. I utilize what I'm making to fund the business. You know what I mean? You shouldn't need me if you making
Right.
that. So I'm ready to cut him off. So he got two loads picked up in Chicago, and I forgot where the other one at. And he came with that game saying he didn't have money to make it out there to Vegas. So I told him, I said, man, we're gonna call the brokers and we're gonna take that stuff back. No, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it. I said, man, if you can't make it, do not leave Chicago with that freight. No, I promise I'm gonna make it, man. Some kind of way he make it to one of the drop deliveries, and the other one he hurry up and go to some. Well, I don't know where he went to be honest, because it didn't make it to the destination, and he just got anybody to sign a BOL, sent that to me so I can go ahead and factor it real quick with a bad business on it.
Oh
Oh,
man,
In the
stop
in,
it.
in the freight and the freight was, I don't know where the freight was, you know what I mean? And
Oh
Ooh,
wow.
it was bad, man. It was
man,
bad.
it
Oh.
was bad. That's bad.
Did you have a
Oh.
contract with
Yeah,
him?
it
That's
was
some
bad.
Raoul's.
Nico is
No,
asking, did you
I
That's
have a
some
was I was
Raoul
contract?
type. So
about the
that's an
contract.
inside joke.
I was about the contract, put a contract with him because we was doing so much that my factoring company my factoring company actually stopped factoring me because they seen it was two trucks and they didn't allow it without me having COI with both trucks on it. He could never produce a COI, and that's why I told him, I said, man, my factoring company is stopping my money now, and that's a no go. I ain't finna, we ain't finna do that now. So
Right.
that was the thing that slowed him down. So I guess he was at the point where he was finna run off anyway at that point. So he didn't even care, and that's why he got whoever. Because when the broker let me know, because I didn't even know he had left the freight anywhere like that, because he told me that the broker is gonna reach out to me about a bad BOL. He said, man, I got the wrong BOL sign. He never told me about he delivered the wrong thing. So by the time I heard all that, what he was trying to do is get me to pay him for that load. Hurry up and get that load factor. And he was gone, you know what I mean? He was poofing gone in the wind. And
Wow.
that's how it happened. Yep.
Wow.
Dang.
was he ever paying you the
Ooh.
So
money back
I,
when you
what
was
was
fronting
he?
him?
Was he black? He probably
yeah.
was.
Well, he didn't have to give it back because when I
Damn.
factor
Sherry.
it, it goes directly to me.
Okay,
You see what I'm
you
saying?
taking it out the load factor.
Yeah, I just take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I just take it out. But I didn't want to do that because I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to help the guy. You know what I mean? So I wanted you to be smart with your money so you can grow it. Because I'm telling, I said, man, I got a good MC, man. This is a good MC where you can run.
Mm.
Your overhead is low because you got two trucks that you financing, but you don't pay no more than $650, $700 on your finance costs. So I say your overhead is cheap, man, way cheaper than what I'm running. If I'm able to book loads at a good number, I know you able to do it. But he just didn't care. And I kept asking him, like, man, why you run like that, man, without checking into the numbers where they don't make sense. And he could never break that down to me. And I was like, man, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he was
That ain't
making money
I
all
don't want to
right.
Well,
just get
Willie,
a
he,
percent from you.
you know what he was doing? He was going to the same place. You notice he was going from California. He was doing the same route. So it's not that he didn't know how. He just had to get there. I bet you he had other stuff on there
Oh,
because he
absolutely.
had to make sure he went from California to such and such, the West Coast to the Midwest. You notice that his patterns. So
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not that he was looking at
That's
the
what he was
rates.
doing.
He was
That
just worrying
that
about the.
that's what he was doing
Yeah, he
every
wasn't worrying
time.
about no rates.
He was going to fill on some
Oh,
time.
okay.
That's
So
what he was
something else
doing
was on that
every
truck.
time. It was California, then back to Ohio or Chicago, California. But California, he was
Ah,
California every week. And I said, man, what's in California? I don't
yeah.
know, man.
That was probably
But he
really
wasn't
like
making no
over
Shoot.
money.
$2,000 going in California. So he get you to factor it, he get that money. Then you was sending him fuel.
Ah,
He was making a killing.
Yeah, I'm sending
so
them
he was
fuel.
getting.
Yep.
And then he was getting that
So
recreational from California and
the
bringing
broke
it on up to that Midwest.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what he was
man,
doing.
ain't it ain't no telling. It
So
ain't no
do
telling.
you allow people to lease
Yes.
on right now? Do you allow people to lease on to your authority, or you that was it?
Nah, that's dead. That's dead. I was glad after it happened. I was glad it happened because sometimes you need to fall hard before you just wake up and realize you can't help everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because if it wouldn't have been the
No.
13,000, it could have been 100,000. He could have did way worse because some of that freight can cost up to $100,000. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to cover that. You know what I mean?
Well, that happened to us. We
So
let somebody
uh,
run onto our authority and they lied from beginning. They said they owned a truck, they were in a rental truck, didn't know that they were in a rental truck. Then they said they had all this experience, but when they strapped down a printer, they strapped it down wrong, so the printer is going like bam, bam, bam across the back of the truck. So
and broke.
I ended up paying out of pocket for the claim. We paid out of pocket, and then he kept telling me he was going to pay us back. He never paid us back. So then I started holding his every time he was sending an invoice, we started holding his factoring, his
It's
money.
money. Yeah.
Then the shit hit the fan when he got sick over the road with freight. That's how I found out he was in a rental truck because the truck got impounded. He started responding to the dispatcher. When I tell you that was the lesson of my life. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't let
Yeah.
him
You
book
learn lessons out here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We wouldn't let him book his own freight. I was like, nah, you're not getting my information. You gotta go. And at that time we had a dispatcher, and I should have known when the dispatcher caught his COI and he was like, why does he have a F something 50? It was a truck. And I was like, I had to email him back and say, nah, this ain't right. You need to send me your box truck. So yeah, that was my biggest lesson on letting somebody run on our authority. Now we tell people up
Yeah,
front,
that's
if
it. I would never do that again.
yeah, if you run under our authority, what stops people is I tell them, and it's true, you have to be on our insurance. Legally, you have to be
That's
on
it.
our insurance
Yep.
and you have to pay a deposit. And once they hear that,
Let's see. I ain't think about that part, but
Yeah.
that would run them off right there.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And
they
then
need to pay a
So
deposit.
and
many
then
people
Willie
just
also think about that. Think about the escrow too. Like say, okay, you can run under my authority, but I'm gonna need 2,500 or 5,000 put to the side just in
uh-huh
case of
to the
BS.
side.
So each factoring, you
Yep.
take
I
200
wish I would have
and
had I
stack
wish
it,
I would have
and
had
then
that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
That would
that
have
way
made
you got
sense,
some
man, because
insurance in case they
I'm
trip.
paying I'm paying out of pocket, man, almost the value of a car, man, a small little used car, man, for a mistake I didn't make. I got
Mm,
no claims on myself over all this time I've been running. I let this guy run for 2.5 months, and he almost took me out. They
Mm,
shut me down. Once they hit you with that freight guard,
mm,
you can't book. I
yeah.
was sitting, I was sitting in Texas. Matter of fact, I was in Houston when it happened. I was saying it was my birthday. I was talking to my wife. I was at Walmart
mm,
trying to book a load, and because I had already heard from the broker that what was going on by that time. I just didn't know when the freight guard when they was gonna try to move forward with anything. So I get that alert come across
immediately.
my email in the email, and all I could see was freight guard. So I'm like, I don't even feel like talking no more. My stomach started hurting. I'm like, oh, I gotta open this message, see what it says.
I know, man.
let me let me open this message.
He said
I
his
opened
stomach
that
started
message.
hurting.
I told her, I was like, let me call you back. Man, I got on the phone with that broker. That broker said, he said, man, I'm gonna be real. That guy's a jerk, man. He's a scumbag, man. I don't know why you let him do what he did, but he messed you up, man. We had to do it. I said, yeah, I
Mm.
understand. So he like, can you get in touch with him and all that? I'm like, hell, I can't, I can't find the guy. Just like he went dessert on you, of course he gonna do it to me. You know what I mean? That's his character. You know what I mean? So long
Mm.
story short,
What'd you do to get
I
the
I
freight
bit the
guard
bullet on it.
removed?
Started paying them back.
Mm.
Okay.
So you're paying them
Start
back right
started
now?
paying them back. Of course, that's the only way they're gonna remove. That's the only way they remove the freight guard.
Damn.
Dang.
Gave
$13,000.
them a few
Man,
thousand
started.
dollars. Yeah,
That's
It's
Well,
on
we're
it's
about
on
expensive.
my
to.
page.
Start a payment plan.
I put it
I,
on my page.
I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go
Exactly.
look now. Is it
So he
pinned to
just
the top?
walks
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
He just walks away.
yeah. It's on my page. Huh?
He just
He just
walks
Yeah.
walks
away.
away.
He just drove away.
So you
Damn.
don't
Yep,
have
he
any of
gone.
his information.
Yeah, I got all this information, but I mean, it don't do no good because we had no contract. He wasn't even supposed to have their freight. You know, he wasn't
Damn.
even supposed to have
Yeah,
their freight.
exactly.
Yeah,
My
Yeah.
he ain't gonna
insurance,
be
my
lying
Yeah.
to
insurance,
you.
because they tried to hit my insurance with the claim first. The company, they were like, man, run it through your insurance. So my insurance company called me, and once they found out it wasn't me, because they lined up the truck, he submitted all of his information for the truck to the brokerage. So it's like him. He's not on my policy at all. So they not gonna
Yeah.
cover a claim when it's not
Mm.
me that's covered. So
Gotcha.
it's that's what
Man,
I told him. Like, hey, it's nothing I can do about it, you know. But pay it or just stop running
Yeah.
because I can't book a load. You can't book a load with freight guard.
Mm.
It immediately went in effect too. Immediately. So I just want to tell anybody who ever get hit with a freight guard, they're gonna tell you got 72 hours to dispute it. But every broker see it as soon as they report it. So that's not true. It immediately hit. No broker gonna book with you until it's
Gotcha.
removed.
Mm.
Mm.
especially the
Amen.
message behind the
Oh.
freight guard. Because some freight guard can be looked over. It depends on what happened.
Yeah,
But that one,
exactly.
yeah,
And that one
that's
and that one looked bad. It said fraud, missing, stolen product. It had a big
Ain't gonna touch
description
that.
of it.
Oh yeah,
It looked it real bad.
yeah.
It looked it real bad, you know. I
Bold
experienced
letters.
like I did it for real. Like I'm like, damn, man, this dude then did something I would have never did to myself. Why you let him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a big learning curve, you know.
Well, thank you
But
for
I'm
that lesson
I'm glad it
today.
You
happened
learn.
because
Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Derek is always against lease ons. I could definitely say he's against it. We
I know.
tried it. We are still like, but I think
man, I'm glad y'all made it out.
I mean,
I'm
I
glad
can't
y'all
remember
made it
how
out
much
smooth.
we paid for that claim, but I knew I couldn't put it on my insurance because it wasn't
Nine.
on it wasn't that. No, it was more than that. He ended up on me still nine hundred
Was it?
dollars. Yeah, it was more than that. Yeah.
No, I thought it was like about 3, 4 thousand. Was
Yes.
that
And
printer?
he yes,
I
and
don't
he
know.
still
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he still owed me. It was maybe 2,000. He still owed me $900, somewhere around there. Yeah.
And the whole time while I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'm trying to add it up to what it possibly can be myself before they tell me what it was. And I'm like, man, it's just 3 pallets, food product, can't be much, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe I'm thinking $600-700 at the time, maybe 1100-1200, something like that. I would have
13.
been said, oh man, when it hit me, the claim, the missing product was 11,000, like 300 and some dollars. The To run the load, they paid him $1,275. So that's what brought it to 13 because I already paid him. Because like I remember I said, he hurried up and got anybody to sign the BOL. The first person he seen in the warehouse, he got it, sent it to me because he was always like, "Hey man, you think I'll make it before? Because I need the money for the gas." So that was his game. He always was brewing that, trying to hurry up and get me to submit the invoice, and I was doing it. You know what I mean? Because everything was smooth up until that point. So that day, he wasn't even supposed to get the BOL signed by who he got it signed by. Come to
Mm.
find out, the guy didn't even work. The guy who signed it didn't even work in receiving. The broker told me because the broker was trying to get it solved, and the broker said, "Man, that guy, he just was doing anything, man. That guy didn't even who signed the BOL. He don't even work in receiving." I called up there. He dropped it at the
Hell,
wrong place.
he
This
could
and
have
that. He
signed
told
it.
me
Right. He could have
he
signed it
he probably
himself.
did.
Yeah.
He probably did.
Yeah.
It's no telling, you know what I mean?
What
But
was
he
the
just was trying to
product?
get me
Did
to
you know what
submit
the
it real
product
quick.
was? Did you know what the product was?
Yeah, it was three skids of food seasoning, like different type seasoning. And I don't know the
That's
value
that
of what it
Glyrus,
cost at
baby. That
all.
Lyra is expensive.
A lie.
Oh, okay.
That's that
I don't know
Larry's,
if they
baby,
getting me in
and Tony
the end.
Satchery's.
I'm not there to, yeah, whatever it is, man. It's $11,000 to the good for them. So
Damn.
that's a $13,000 lesson for me. The recourse, and then the recourse hit
Mm,
because they not gonna pay for the load that didn't get delivered. So maybe 2 months down the line, they looking and say, "Hey, man, we need this broker to pay for this," and I'm knowing the whole time they not gonna pay it because they never got the product. You know what I mean? So I had to pay that back to the factory. You know, they swiped that off the rip.
Damn.
So that was a big lesson, man.
mm.
That was a
Well,
big
Willie,
lesson.
thank you so much. This was a great show, and
No, no
you
problem.
you really turned me off on leasing on somebody as per usual, because
I'm
my
I'm
hair will
I'm
be on the
glad.
floor.
I'm glad I did. And y'all
And
look
be
out for that guy's name is Quizzy
yeah,
Brumley,
as a matter of fact,
aka
don't worry, I'm creating
aka
a
yeah,
what's his name again? Quizzy?
Quizzy K
Yeah, that
W
name
E S
alone.
I Brumley. Yeah, that
Yeah,
it's gonna stand out.
That
That's why I'm
name
glad
alone.
because I'm like, man,
It don't say trustworthy. It don't say
yeah,
trustworthy. Quizzy.
yeah.
yeah.
I'd have
And he
turned
called
his name
himself
Yeah.
around in
Joe.
the
He
nose.
used so many aliases, you'll never know him. You know what I mean? So
Got
gotta
you.
watch out if y'all see it come across.
Yeah.
Play it safe.
Well,
Quizzy your ass out my office.
Willie,
Uh,
have you joined my
Straight up.
platform Straight Connect before we go? Because that's I'm gonna ask that before we get off this call. Have you joined my platform called Straight
You
Connect?
probably had to send me a link or send me something so I know how to plug into it. What's it called?
It's called Straight Connect. It is a verified platform for box truck drivers, carriers, and dispatchers. Everybody has to verify their
Oh, okay
identity.
then.
And I will be working on creating a driver abandonment list as well too. Since we cannot put it on
That'll work.
non-CDL drivers, I'm trying to create a list where we can research these drivers who abandon trucks and do what Queasy
Yeah,
do, whatever his
and
name is
abandoned
again.
freight.
I
Abandon
know that.
freight.
I know that's right. And
Yeah.
everybody follow my box truck group. Box truck lanes matter. Big platform, over 44,000 members. Started it back before the pandemic, where people can come in, network, and you can find trucks, you can find drivers, and all that good stuff. So
It's called Box Truck Lanes
that's what
Matter.
that is.
Mm.
I think I've seen
That's
that.
what you
Yeah.
called it?
Facebook group, ain't it?
Uh huh.
Box truck lanes matter.
Box truck
Okay.
lanes.
Well, you need to help me
Box
promote
truck
Straight Connect. You
lanes
got all
matters.
these damn followers. I need help. We need to
Hey,
talk.
jump on them platform. Jump on them platforms and get your network on.
I've been trying.
I
Trust
make
me.
I make you guys admin so that way my moderators won't kick you out. You know what I mean?
Please
So
do.
you plug
All
in.
right.
So
All right.
Yes, that would be wonderful because I don't need to get kicked out when I start promoting. People been,
I appreciate y'all bringing me on too. It was nice to talk to y'all and meet
No
y'all and just
problem,
know that
man.
people,
Same here,
other people
man.
like
Enjoyed
me,
you. Really
doing
enjoyed
the
you.
same thing. Okay.
yes, thank you.
All right, man.
So
Y'all be
we're
good.
gonna we're
All right.
gonna end the show. Before you hit end, please let it download. Okay? Thank y'all for joining
Okay.
tonight. I
Okay.
appreciate it. So I'm hitting